Yeah, it was actually it was a pre-recorded one. It was really nice.
Oh, nice. I'll
Hey,
check it out.
yeah, no, please do. Hey, everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, we had Rich Roll on our 1000th episode. So in our 1001st episode, we have another Rich, actually a Richard Hubbard, and he lost 150 pounds at least, maybe more, on a plant-based diet. He's got a book now, and he's got a website, and he helps people do the same. And we're going to hear his story. Please welcome him to the show. It's good to see you again, Richard.
Yeah, it's good to see you. And hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm honored to be right after Rich Roll.
I know. Well, we're going to just do Richards today. But what's great is I'm so happy for you, not just because of your success, but because you kept the weight off. And to me, it's so heartbreaking because you see this all the time, people losing weight, whether it's a plant-based diet or not, and they gained it all back, and you didn't. So that's really a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what motivated me to move into the direction I am going in, which is what I'll tell you about in a minute.
Well, first of all, just in case people didn't see you the last time you were on the show, tell us, you could do a shorter version if you want and hold up your book, when you first found out about a plant-based diet, you adopted it, and sure, all the magic that ensued.
Sure. So let me hold up my book because this shows the before and after picture. I don't know if everybody can see it there, but that was me on the left there. I was well over 350 pounds. I don't even know what my highest weight was because I stopped weighing myself. I was afraid to go to the doctors for years. I got gradually obese after college, just kept putting on weight because I have a desk job. I still do now, but the difference is I get up often. But back then, I would just sit for hours a day, and I didn't care about my diet. I overate, I binged ate. I really was a compulsive overeater. It was a depressing time, and people would often push food on me, and it was I wasn't the type to resist it either. So eventually I found myself over. I remember I weighed myself at the Y. I should back up. I was 345 pounds. I didn't make many changes, but I didn't want to see the scale keep going up, so I kind of stopped weighing myself. And this was going on for a couple of years before I finally saw a doctor. Now, you might be wondering what brought me to a doctor, because I hadn't been to one probably since college time. The state of Connecticut required a physical every year if you wanted to pay the cheaper premiums. So I guess it's good that I'm frugal with my money because that pushed me to go see a doctor. And that also pushed me into a healthier lifestyle because it finally made me face my fears. I was really afraid that I was diabetic. That was my number one fear, and that's why I avoided the doctors, which is stupid because you should, take care of yourself. If you're afraid you're diabetic, you should do something about it, but I didn't.
You're probably afraid.
Yeah, I was really afraid. So I did make an appointment with a doctor. My childhood doctor had long since retired. I had to find a new one. So I searched the internet and found somebody in my local town. And he confirmed on that very first appointment that I was hypertensive. I was severely obese. He said the word morbidly obese, which scared me to death. I hate the sounds of that. It just sounds like you're close to dead or something. I just didn't like the sounds of that. So that was a huge wake-up call, that first appointment. He told me he would do a follow-up appointment. And if my blood pressure was still high, I would have to go on meds. So at that point, I was starting to cut back on food, starting to take it a little more serious. But still, the blood pressure was high. I think it was like, I don't remember, 150 over 100 or something. And he says, that's it, I got to put you on meds. So I picked up the medication. A few days later, I talked to my mom, who's a nurse. Well, she's since retired, but she's the type who, since she gives out meds all the time, she thinks it's no big deal. So she says, I remember, quote, she says, everybody's on something. So It's not a big deal. But for some reason, I have this drive in me, and I don't know where it came from to be med free. I don't know where it came from, because my daddy's on a lot of meds too, and my stepmom, they're all on meds, and I really didn't want to go down that path.
I don't blame you. Were you overweight as a child?
I would say some kids teased me that I was chubby, but I really, looking back at the pictures, I wasn't that bad. Yeah, I had a slight belly, but I think probably I look more like the typical kid today, because everybody's kind of overweight nowadays. But back in the 80s, people weren't as overweight as they are now. So I probably looked obese to other kids, but now today I don't think I would look so bad.
I feel the same way, being one of the few in the 60s that we would have fit right in right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how many years has it been since, well, first of all, how long did it take for you to lose? And was it 150 exactly, or was it over 150?
Well, now it's over 150, because being plant-based is impossible to gain weight, I find, which is a good thing. But yeah, it was 120 pounds during the first 12 months. And then gradually over time, it was like 30, 35, 36 pounds. I mean, I maintained about 195 pounds. Yeah.
It's amazing. How tall are you?
6'3".
That is incredible. You must feel pretty good.
Oh, I do. I have lots of energy. Something else I should mention is I became a runner a few years ago. I became involved with the Missing Chins Run Club, they're called. You're familiar with Josh Lajani, right?
Oh, so you're in his group?
Yeah. The only thing is that I got sidetracked with a knee injury that actually started to flare up again. It was a knee injury from college. So I've kind of taken a break from running, but I've been exercising every day regardless. But I'm going to build back up into running again.
But you lost the weight without running, right?
Oh, yeah. It was without the running. Yeah. I mean, I did exercise like a maniac the first year. I probably didn't have to. I did use the treadmill for like an hour a day. So I was going crazy with the exercise too, but it's not like I'd have to, because as you know, when you're plant-based, it really falls off anyway.
That's been my experience. And how many years now have you maintained this over 150 pound weight loss?
Well, I got to my lowest at December, and not my lowest, but the 120 pounds was December of 2012. So
you hit the 10-year mark.
Yeah.
Just like me. We kind of were, we didn't know each other, time. But yeah, we kind of went on this journey at the same time. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But now
you kept it off the same amount of time, and you never had any you didn't go up and down either.
No, I didn't. But people don't understand, like, it's not like you just keep losing weight forever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go to zero, it's just, I hit a certain point and I've maintained it. But that's because you and we didn't change what we ate once we lost the weight. See, a lot of people, I think, do that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I remember one thing my doctor said, which is kind of funny now. He told me to join Weight Watchers for men. And the reason it's kind of funny now, when you think about it, all these diets are so temporary. And what happens when you don't have Weight Watchers? Well, the weight will come back on. I did not want a temporary fix. And that's why I turned to the internet. Do you mind if I ask you how you stumbled upon your weight loss? What stuck? Was it the internet?
No, feel free to ask. I went to the True North Health Center, and I wasn't going there for weight loss. That's the funny part of the story. I went there because after my baby died, I was given psychiatric medicine that I didn't want to take, and I couldn't get off it. And that's what I went there. I was trying, Dr. Goldhammer says, oh yeah, we'll fast you. Well, guess what? You can't fast people on those meds. But when I was there, I learned all about calorie density, and I met Dr. Lyle, and that's really what happened. I didn't have this like master plan,
Yeah, that's funny for me too. It wasn't about weight loss. I just wanted to get healthy. I wanted to not be on meds, and that's what it was all about. And I remember one of the first things I Googled was how do you avoid medication, blood pressure medication, and with diet. and plant-based diet came up.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Do you have a family?
Well, I'm not married. Well, maybe one of these days, but yeah,
Well, you should be able to get somebody. No, I'm just teasing. Yeah.
but,
No, I meant like, because did anybody, I didn't mean necessarily.
yeah. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because there have been family members that resist my lifestyle, like my stepmom, who still don't understand plant-based eating, and it's hard because I feel sometimes alone with this eating. But it's not like I care anyway, because I'm so independent anyway. At work, I probably show what I eat. Everybody knows I'm a healthy eater. If somebody has a donut, they'll say, "Oh no, I know you can't have any." So I mean, everybody's okay with it. I don't mind. At least people at my work, they're all awesome about it. But I come from a family where on my dad's side, there's a lot of hunters. I never was a hunter in my life. I always somehow, even though I ate meat back then, I always felt bad for the animals. And I just felt like they would never understand. And I still feel that way when I see them, that they can't relate. But I just deal with it because I feel so good. I really could care less how other people think.
It's so funny that you mentioned at your work, people like, oh, you can't have that. They don't realize it's not that we can't have it. We choose not to have it.
Exactly.
I never feel like I can't have something. I'm just like, I don't want it. There's a big difference.
Yeah, you don't feel deprived, right? Is that,
Right.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, what the reason I asked about you having a family is, in one way, it's kind of a blessing because there was nobody to sabotage you. Because a lot of times what happens is, if somebody's married and has kids, they don't want to go along on the journey. And it can be really hard for the person that's struggling with weight. And do you believe in the concept of food addiction?
Oh, I do, because I was addicted. I really was. If there was a bag of chips, I would eat the whole thing. If there was a bag of candy at work, I remember I couldn't stop myself. I would eat the whole thing. It's a tough time. I mean, it was really about seeing the food. It's not so much that I would seek it out, but if it was there and there's always a lot of food around, especially at work, I would eat it all. Yeah.
I hear you. We just want to thank Angela for the super chat. And so many people did a super chat earlier, and I couldn't thank them. So thank you now. And how long ago did you write your book?
That was the goal of mine since like 2018 or so, because people would always ask me how I lost the weight. And I mean, I love telling my story, but there's so much to tell that I figured I got to put it in the book. So one of my goals during 2020, if you ever want to find a silver lining to a pandemic, is finding goals that you want to accomplish and finishing them. So I set a goal for myself. I want to finish the book in December 2020. I wanted to, before the end of the year. So it was a lot of work. I mean, I work full time, but I've still found the time, and I made the goal. So December 2020 came up.
That's great. Well, it's called A Plant-Based Journey to Health, from Morbidly Obese to Plant-Based Athlete. Why don't you hold the book up again?
Oh, sure. Yep. So this is, I'm a graphic designer as well. So I designed the cover, and I did the page layout, and this is the back. One of the things I'm proud of, I also have a picture in here of my hero. I don't know, it's black and white, so I don't know if people could see who that is.
That is Dr. Joel Fuhrman.
Yes, he really is my hero from 2012. He happened to be on an episode of Dr. Oz, and I don't know how I happened to be home that day, but I happened to catch the episode, and that woke me up because he was talking about the G-Bombs foods. And believe it or not, I think I've had G-Bombs every day since. I mean, I've integrated other diets like Dr. Greger's, his diet, just all the doctors. I kind of do a I don't know what you call it. Just I combine all their advice.
A hybrid. You do a hybrid.
Hybrid. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you got to find what works for you, and I find the G-Bonds works for me, but I also integrate ideas from other doctors as well, as long as they're vegan. Yeah.
Absolutely. Was the hard part of switching your diet the giving up the animal products part or the giving up the junk food part?
I think the animal products surprisingly was easy because that was actually the first to go. I started with, I remember it was red beef because I saw an article somewhere that's pressure problems. And so that was first to go. And I did it in stages. Aspartame, I remember that, I think that was next. So the nice thing about giving up aspartame is in so many things and the artificial sweeteners that it's easier and easier to give up processed foods because I was looking at the ingredients more. Yeah. And then gradually, I didn't give up oil the first year because I didn't read how bad it was. You know, it's really a learning process for everybody. You know, gradually a few years later, I learned more and more about how bad oils were. So I, you know, gave up oil. By 2016, I met another hero of mine. You've had him on your show. I saw him, Robert Cheek. He's really become one of my best vegan friends, I think. He's truly an inspiration. We've met a few years ago at a Massachusetts Veg Fest event, and he helped me become an ethical vegan. The reason why is because I was trying to build muscle at the time. With I had a lot of loose skin, and I just didn't know what to do. So I knew that maybe building muscle would help, at least in my arms and chest, and it did. I'm very happy with you know, the results I got. But anyway, I didn't want to take whey protein. I didn't want to overdo all that protein. I had a personal trainer who was telling me I had 200 grams of protein. He recommended whey protein. And I tried it once and I got sick. And even my doctor, who wasn't plant-based at the time, he said, that's insane. It would have, you know, killed my kidneys and liver. Don't do that to myself. So luckily I had good advice too at the time that the trainer gave me that advice. So I researched, you know, bodybuilding on a plant-based diet, stumbled across Robert Cheek. And as you know, you've seen the pictures of him, that he has incredible results. And I thought if he could do this with no meat, then there's no reason why I can't. And, you know, he's just been an inspiration ever since.
Yeah, Robert Cheek's phenomenal. I'm going to have a whole week with him coming up. I think it's in October. He's going to co-host the show with me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites as well. So you have a website now. So tell us about what it is you're doing with people.
Yeah, should I start sharing? Because I do have the website open.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
1 second here. It should let me. I know you gave me permission.
I gave you permission. Yeah.
Oh, here it is. I see it now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Perfect.
Okay. So I launched plantbasedrich.com. Actually, today's the official launch date.
Well, congratulations, or as we say, mazel tov.
Thank you. So this website, the reason I did it is because I've been wanting to coach for a couple of years, actually maybe 4 or 5 years now. I'm a busy guy. I'm a full-time webmaster, and it's tough for me to find the time, but I really wanted to focus and get this website done. So the coaching portion isn't officially launched yet, but I'm going to launch it on Facebook, you know, an announcement when it's there. So this just tells about how if they follow my page on Facebook, that the announcement will be there. I started a plant-based rich Facebook page as well, and Instagram. So I'm expecting maybe sometime in June to have that component ready. But there's other things on the website I started as well, including recipes, apparel, which I'll show you now.
Tell me your handle on Instagram.
Oh, it's plant.base.rich.
Thanks.
Yep. So I'll be selling hats and shirts, water bottles with my logo on it. This is just a fun project to do with the website. Yeah, I don't expect to make a ton of money doing the apparel, but it just thought it'd be a fun thing to add. Because I like how the logo came out. I'm a graphic designer as well, so I thought it'd be fun to put on a t-shirt. My book is, there's a link to Amazon. They really did a beautiful job printing. I'm very impressed with the quality of the book and the glossy cover. It's also available as an ebook as well. I did share some of my favorite recipes. I actually created this own recipe. It was based off of another recipe I found. I think it was from the Physicians Committee. They had a black bean brownie recipe with raspberries, but I've become a fan of guava the past few years, and I thought I'm going to add it to the brownies. And everybody I gave it to, they just thought they never could tell there was beans in it. It tastes just like a regular brownie, and there's such healthy ingredients in it. Nobody can believe it. I don't, I know you can't have chocolate, right? Or you avoid chocolate.
I can't, it gives me migraines, but I could use carob powder in it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't tried that yet, but somebody else I know of can't have, or they're avoiding chocolate as well. So she was going to try carob powder and let me know if it works. But I did try this without any carob or cocoa powder, and it tastes just as good. I mean, just as sweet without it. So if you want to try it without it, I recommend go for it. It really does make an excellent brownie.
That's amazing. Do you cook all your own food?
I do, but I'm very simple about it. I just kind of throw things together and plan things ahead of time. Some people would probably think it's plain, but I enjoy the food. Like for my salads, I just put on red wine vinegar. I have an organic one that I buy, or balsamic vinegar. Just simple things like that. I'll put some walnuts on top. With my limited time too, it's tough to prepare elaborate things. But this is one of my go-to smoothies that I make often. This has fennel in it, dandelion, banana. Sometimes I'll add dates to it. Sometimes I'll add berries. I kind of mix it up. Cucumber, and it really turns out, super. I wouldn't say super sweet, but sweet enough that you don't know you're drinking the greens. But I do like to eat the greens as well, so I don't just rely on smoothies. But if you're new to this, I think, and you have trouble eating greens, I think a smoothie is the way to go. Just even for training wheels, I guess, until you're able to eat more greens. But I do still make smoothies anyway.
That's how I started, and I couldn't even do the greens without cocoa powder and dates at first. You're right, it's like training wheels. Great place to start.
So the website is launched now. If your viewers want to like my Facebook page or like my Instagram feed, that'd be appreciated. I will announce the coaching hopefully within a month.
I put all those handles in, just so you know, in the show notes, which you can only see on YouTube. I put your Instagram, both your Facebook handles, your website. Do you think your coaching will be individual coaching or group coaching or both?
I'm thinking of doing both. I'm thinking, actually, I'm leaning more toward group coaching because, I only have limited amount of time as a full-time worker. So probably coaching, couple days a week or something in the evening. But I still got to work that out. But I'm really looking forward to coaching because I have in the past couple of years coached a few people, including I'm really proud of my mom. She she has reversed her diabetes that she's had for, I don't know, 30, 40 years. And I'm so honored that she went plant-based. She's doing amazing. So I just wanted to give a shout out. She doesn't use the internet, so I'll show her the interview later. But anyway, it made me feel good that somebody in my family wanted to do this, because my dad and stepmom, they're not, they're big meat eaters, so I can't imagine them doing it. I do have somebody else in the family has Crohn's, and she's also leaning more toward plant-based. And I'm proud of what she's doing as well. She's growing her own garden of vegetables. I have a friend, he suffered from depression, as he mentioned, and his goal is to get off all of his meds eventually. But he's lost like 80 pounds so far, and this was my guidance. And it really makes you feel good that, that I could help people like that, because, I never thought it could reach people like that. And, it also, because I'm an ethical vegan, if I can get more people to get off of animal products, it's a win situation to me.
Yep. Hey, I didn't realize that Eric Adams endorsed your book, and now you could actually change it to say that he's the mayor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm proud to say I know him. He was on my show, and I was so proud to know him, and I was so proud when he became mayor. I mean, this is the biggest city in the world, really. I mean, everybody looks to New York, and here we have a plant-based mayor. I just wished that was more in the forefront, because I don't think many people know he is plant-based. They just think of him as the mayor now. I hope more and more people will keep pushing that he's plant-based, because we need more prominent people out there that spread the word.
Yeah. Pierre wants to know, how much water do you drink in a day?
It varies. I do drink probably, I'd say about maybe 4 to 5 tall glasses of water. I don't really count anymore. I go by if I'm thirsty or not. But there's so much water in the food too. You have to take into account of that. And sometimes I'll have water. I mean, I do have water, the smoothies as well, so that all counts. I do have tea, and there's water in that. So maybe altogether, if I were to make a guess, I really have no idea, maybe 70, 80 ounces.
Oh, great. So there's a question, where is it? I just saw it, about loose skin. And you actually have a chapter in your book just addressing that.
Yes. I was afraid to talk about abdominoplasty. I know plastic surgery. And, I did all this hard work to lose the weight without surgery. I was wondering, worried about how people would react. But the skin was really such an annoyance to me. And, sometimes I remember being at the gym and a few people would comment, "Oh, I see your loose skin." And it was kind of embarrassing to me. It would get uncomfortable and itchy at times too. So I always told myself, if after 5 years it didn't tighten enough, I would do the abdominoplasty. I have no regrets. That's why I share the story, because it went so well. I did my homework. I looked for plastic surgeon, not based on distance, but on their experience and if I felt comfortable with them. I live in Connecticut, but I found one in New York City, and I just felt very comfortable. They would do a great job. I looked at some of his other work and was impressed, and he said all the right things. I probably did about 5 consultations, but my big fear was anesthesia.
And me too. We are 2 peas in a pod. That's always been my big fear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anybody, because when you wake up, of course, that's the biggest fear. And I don't know how I got through it, because I was ready to have a panic attack when I got there. I walked around the building about 10 times before I made the decision to go in. But I got brave and went in, and the anesthesiologist calmed me down, and I went through it. So.
Mm.
Uh,
Do you have more to share on your website? Because otherwise we can make you bigger if you are done sharing. Or do you have
oh
more?
yeah, let me stop sharing.
Yeah, because then we can see you bigger.
Sure.
Okay, terrific.
Also, speaking of websites, I'm going to give you a link to. Can you see me okay? Because I still.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. I'm going to give you a link also to healthylivingct.com. I'm going to link up my blog eventually to my new website, but that's where I blog about all my experiences with my plant-based journey.
Healthy Living
really,
CT?
Yeah, healthylivingct.com.
Okay.
It really goes back to, I think, when I first started the journey, and back in, I mean, I didn't start it in 2012, I don't think. I think it's more like 2013. But if you look back, you can see all my articles about my frustration about my loose skin, and how how I'm frustrated with, certain weight loss along the way, like using PayPal, my Fitness Pal. Sorry, PayPal. My Fitness
PayPal.
My Fitness Pal.
Would be great if PayPal did that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. My Fitness Pal. That was the app I used, I believe, to lose weight. And these journals, these online food journals, they're very addictive. And like I mentioned training wheels before, but when you use these food journals over time, you realize that you don't really have to do it anymore, because it becomes like a science in your brain. You know how to do it eventually. And I didn't need to count calories. I just knew I would lose weight without it. So I gave up those tools. But I do recommend them if you're not sure exactly how much to eat. They do work in the beginning.
Okay, so I see some questions. Well, everybody on the show, Richard, plant-based or not, gets the what I eat in the day question. So it sounds like maybe for breakfast you have a smoothie.
No, actually, that's more toward lunchtime. I make it in the morning, before work. But I always start the day with steel-cut oats. That is my go-to breakfast for years now. I just love it. I add the flax, ground chia seeds on top, berries, banana, walnuts. Gotta have the walnuts for the omega-3. I just love that breakfast. I can't imagine eating anything else. People ask, don't I get sick of it? No, it just tastes so good to me. Lunch, I'll have a smoothie, followed by a few hours later, a huge salad. Dr. Furman advised a huge salad years ago, and I've been eating it ever since. My salad includes a lot of greens like kale. Sometimes I'll have raw broccoli in there. The onions, tomatoes, peppers, garlic, seeds. I incorporate everything I could think of that, the G bombs. I also add beans on top, or lentils. Black beans are my favorite. I also have a couple apples during the day. Sometimes I'll have an extra snack of a banana. It's probably a lot of calories to some people, but I have a big appetite still, probably because I'm so active. But this way I'm not hungry. For dinner, I'll have maybe another smaller salad, steamed veggies. Sometimes I'll have almond butter with no other ingredients but almonds. Or recently I found a walnut butter, which only has walnut butter and minimal amount of salt. I got it on Amazon. And so everything I eat fills me up, and I enjoy it. That's the important thing, is you have to enjoy your food. Oh, and I'll finish up with berries at the end of the day.
Right. Do you make your smoothie in the morning and just keep it in the fridge until it's time for you to drink it?
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense.
You got to prepare ahead of time.
So you don't worry about portion control, right? You don't
No.
portion your food.
I used to in the beginning. I think all amateurs, I'll say. Everybody kind of worries about calories in the beginning because that's all you hear about. But I think once you're on a roll with plant-based diets, especially if you're not using oil, the weight will just fall off, and you don't really need to count calories. Just go by how you feel, how hungry you are. Dr. Furman stresses you got to identify what your true hunger is. It takes a while to figure out what's toxic hunger and what is real hunger. And over time, you definitely begin to learn that.
Right. There's a question. Do you have any current healthy food vices?
Well, I told you I love guava now. I don't know what it is, but walnut butter, that's been a big thing lately. Tamarind. That's very addictive. I don't know if you've ever tried it. It's
that's what they use in pad thai to make the sauce.
Yeah. I eat it raw. I get the it kind of looks like a long turmeric in a way, the skin. You peel the skin and you kind of eat around the seeds. It's like almost like a flesh, like a date flesh that you eat around the seeds. And I could eat those all day. So yeah, those are a few of my vices, but I don't think they're really bad.
Do you have to worry about the amount of nuts or nut butters you have?
No, I do have a meter. I got it from my mom because she's a nurse, or was a nurse. She's since retired, but every once in a while I check my blood sugar in the morning just to make sure. I don't want any surprise suddenly I'm pre-diabetic or something. And typically it's in the 70s or 80s. So no, I never limit my nut intake. I mean, I'm careful, but I don't, I guess in my mind, I try not to go overboard, but I don't count.
That's good. That's great. You had a knee surgery or knee problem recently, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, I had an injury at college. It caused chronic swelling. But I'm glad you brought that up because I saw an orthopedist last year. I had to go to multiple ones till I found one I liked. But anyway, I told him about my diet because he says to me, "How come you're not in any pain? I should be in excruciating pain." When he saw the x-rays, because of what was going on, my kneecap was shifting around as I ran and causing all kinds of issues. It just didn't stay into place. And he said anybody else who's coming to his office, they would be in pain. So I told him, I wonder if it has anything to do with my diet. It's very anti-inflammatory. And he says that's got to be it. So if you're looking for a way to reduce knee pain or eliminate like I did, not even knowing that I was eliminating pain, I was just dealing with swelling. There's another reason to go plant-based because I've had no pain, just chronic swelling, which is irritating in itself because I can't really move around too much when it got in a swollen state. But I did what's called a plasma treatment, platelet-rich plasma.
PRP, I heard that Dr. Esser does those.
It actually really works. It's unfortunate that insurance doesn't cover it because I think a lot of patients would benefit from it. I had to do a couple of treatments. He didn't do plasma the second time around. He gave me a special glucose treatment, but it really did the same thing to save me money. And I've never regretted it, just like I never regretted my abdominoplasty because I haven't had swelling in months now.
Oh my God. It's funny. Again, I had a knee problem too. That's what drove me to lose the weight because I had broken my knee and I couldn't even use the crutches or a walker. I got to talk to you about that procedure. You're really brave. Did the abdominal surgery hurt a lot?
No. Actually, what did hurt, you have to wear these annoying drains. I don't know if you've seen pictures. It drains on both sides. And the thing is, it's kind of disgusting when the liquid comes out. It touches the area of your stomach where the incision is. and it burns so bad. I had to deal with burning for 2 weeks until the drains were out. So that was kind of uncomfortable. But if you're able to deal with that uncomfortableness, there was no real chronic pain or anything.
Nice.
And the good news is today, when I feel my scar, there's always going to be a little scar, a tiny scar. It's not very noticeable unless you really stare. But when I feel that scar, it feels normal. It feels just like my own skin, like nothing was ever done.
Well, that's your battle scar.
It is. I mean, I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Do you ever worry, or have you worried in the last 10 years that you could have a relapse and gain some or all of your weight back?
I did the first couple of years, but then over time I realized that I don't have the cravings. And if you don't have the cravings, I see no reason to worry, because there's a lot of things around me that would have been tempting years ago. People have bad food at work all the time. I'll see chips or donuts. I never ever get tempted, because I think the reason why is because I always make sure I have healthy food around me. I think that's critical. Maybe if I let my guard down and stopped bringing these healthy foods with me, maybe I'd be so hungry that I'd eat it. But I don't think I would, though. But anyway, I'm always prepared ahead of time.
Yeah, that is really the key, I think, is preparation. Like, I've heard that say preparation trumps motivation.
And also, I'd like to say, being an ethical vegan, that also helps me, because this junk food that people have at work, is it vegan? Is my number one question. Maybe I'll cheat if it's 100% vegan. Like my boss last year bought me a box of vegan cookies. That's not typically in my diet because it had oil in it. But it was so nice for her to buy it, and it was at a Christmas party. I indulged. So I will say, I guess I'll cheat. Maybe once a month if it's 100% vegan.
Good. That's great. Donna says, was it a shock for you the first time you went to buy smaller clothes?
Yes. I held off for a while. I was wearing belts that had to get tighter and tighter, and finally I went to the store, and I could not believe it. First, it was size 36, and you have to remember I was size 44, so that was a big shock when I finally moved down to 36. And then gradually it was 34. And oh my God, I could not believe I could shop in the men's section without looking for the big and tall section.
That's great.
Yeah,
Dina says that she just ordered your book. She loves reading people's success stories. Thank you, Dina. And I've been posting the link for other people to.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And get the book. There's a question. Do you eat potatoes?
Yep. I don't worry about it. My favorite is Japanese sweet potatoes. And also I love purple sweet potatoes. I do eat white potatoes too, but really sweet potatoes are my favorite.
Me too. You ever have the Hannah yams or the white ones?
No, not yet. Are they just as sweet, or?
They're a little bit different. Maybe not quite as sweet, but they have kind of like a vanilla flavor. They're really good if you get a chance to get them.
I saw them at Whole Foods. I got to get those.
Yeah, please try one. And I think you'll really, if you like the Japanese, there's no reason to believe you wouldn't. Do you have people that like congratulate you on your success and then say, oh, but I could never do that?
I hear that all the time. Yes, still today. That is probably the number 2 question behind where do you get the protein from? Yeah, I hear that all the time. And the reason I wrote the book too is because I really believe if I can do it, anyone can. It's just getting your mind in the right frame. You have to get in the frame of mind, and you have to want to get healthy. Maybe if some of your viewers were on the fence, if you became ethical vegan too, if you look at some of these videos of what happens to the animals, that might help too. But you have to find your why, and then I think it becomes easy.
Yeah. Well, I think staying off medication is a great why.
Well, that's a huge motivator. That right there. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That is good. What are some of the exciting places you've told your story? Do people ask you to speak ever?
Yes, they have. I went to one in I think it was in New Jersey that you were speaking at the same time. The immersion.
Nice.
Yeah, that was one. I spoke at one of Dr. Furman's events. Just a number of things. And I'm always happy to share my story. And believe it or not, I was never a public speaker. In high school, I hated to talk. But the reason I share is because I really believe other people can do it. I just want to get the word out that you can do it. That's why I want to be a coach too.
Yep. Dina, he did mention how tall he was. I believe you said 6'2", right?
Oh, 6'3".
6'3". Wow, that's near tall.
Yeah.
Wow. Elizabeth says, I just bought your book to a friend who was obese for inspirations.
Well, that's what I was looking for. People that buy it for friends, because I'm really hoping it inspires those who want to lose weight.
All right. Donna says, do you think you healed faster from your surgery because of your diet?
Yep, that's what my doctor told me too. He wasn't plant-based, but he was fully on board, and he totally understood it. Other patients of his were plant-based, and he told me they healed faster as well. So absolutely.
I mean, you know, when you think about it, 120 pounds in a year, 10 pounds a month, which can be typical, it's still pretty fast.
It is. It is. That's the reason why I think I have more loose skin than some people. You know, the faster you lose it, they say, the harder it is for the skin to bounce back.
Yep. Did you ever try other methods of losing weight during your life?
Oh my God, yes. It just is never ending. I did, you know, it was always my versions. You know, I never was strict. Like I would do my version of Atkins or my version of high protein diets, low carb diets, and nothing ever worked. It was so discouraging. Maybe I'd lose a couple pounds, but it never stayed off. And the number one reason why is because you have to stay on these things for life. The minute you come off of any of them, the weight's going to come back.
Absolutely. Did you ever consider gastric bypass?
No, because like you, I was afraid of anesthesia.
Yeah.
I never thought I would do a tummy tuck because
right.
That was my big fear.
You must be my brother from another mother.
Oh, I don't.
So here's a question.
Plus, we didn't talk about this. We'll have to talk about another time. My sister was anorexic, and I know you suffered from an eating disorder years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dina says, do you eat avocados and olives? I know you eat nuts.
I do eat avocado. Olives I avoid because of the sodium.
Mm-hmm.
Try to watch the sodium.
And there's a question if you eat oil.
No. I mean, some days, like I told you, there's cheat days, like if my boss will bring in something. If it's vegan, I'll have it. But no, generally no.
But I'm guessing you get right back on track.
Always, yeah. That's the thing. If you allow yourself I have a friend, and that's where I got this advice from. He's completely plant-based. Anthony Masello. I don't know if you ever interviewed him.
What's his name? Oh, Anthony. Wait,
yeah.
You know, I think I did. I might not have. Yes, I know I did. You know, when you get to 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, of course.
But no, I totally did. And I also had him on with Lori Marbus about their.
Yes. Because he once told me that he allows himself one cheat day a month where maybe he'll have white flour or something as long as it's vegan. And that's the way I look at it too. You know, I do something very similar.
Nice. I think it might be easier for men. I'm afraid to allow myself something like that because I'm just worried like I would not be able to get back on, you know?
Well, I think you're right. Plus, I think men can handle more fat from nuts and things like that. I think, you know, we might not gain as much from that. Absolutely. For some reason.
Donna wants to know what supplements, if any, do you take?
Yeah, B12 is critical. I also take D3 because I live in the Northeast. You know, if I was in like California, I probably wouldn't need it during the summer. But I do take D3 year round. And I did have it checked, and it's in the perfect range, which I'm happy about. So B12, D3, I was taking a DHA supplement, but I've since stopped because I know they say it can cause prostate cancer. There's concerns about it. So
Nice. Okay. Anybody at your work go plant-based after seeing your success?
no, but I do have people who are eating healthier. But it's the classic story that what you mentioned before. They could never do that. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But I have influenced people, believe me, to eat better. My coworkers, they'll bring in dried fruit that they'll eat. They're not bringing in the cookies as much, and I mean they'll eat those things. Unlike me, but they are trying to eat healthier.
Yeah. Adina, he's from Connecticut, and that's what you're in your blog is Connecticut.
Yes.
It has Connecticut in it. Yeah. Yeah. They could. Okay. Very cool. Well, that is fantastic that you got your website up. I wish you every success with your new venture. Maybe you'll get so doing it, you'll have to quit your other job.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I enjoy my other job, but coaching is such a passion of mine. If it did get big enough, I wouldn't mind doing that full time.
Well, that would be amazing. Hopefully your work isn't watching right now, hearing you say that, but maybe they
yeah, right. Well, they understand anyway.
Yeah, they wouldn't care. Well, they're great to have you. Do you have you influenced any of your siblings?
Unfortunately, my sibling passed. She's the one who had anorexia years ago. And that's why one of these days we'll have to talk about it, because I think she would have benefited from a plant-based diet, but she didn't know about it. I think, that would have ditched all her calorie counting, and it would have actually saved her. But that's another hour-long topic, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can always talk about that. I had a sibling that passed away too, but from morbid obesity, actually. The other end of the spectrum. Yeah. Well, Angela says, best of luck, Richard, on the next chapter of your life.
Oh, thank you.
So what's your very, very, okay, so is it guava your very favorite plant-based food right now?
No, my very favorite right now is the walnut butter. I don't know what it is. That's my go-to food lately. But,
how do you eat it? How do you eat it?
Have you ever heard of Susie's thin cakes?
I have
It's like a rice cake, but it has very few ingredients. It has quinoa, sesame seeds, very minimal salt, like 15 milligrams of salt. And I just added to that.
Wow. Well, you're brave to do the nut butters. I have not ventured into that territory yet.
Well, thankfully, it keeps my blood sugars stable. If it ever got high, I'd have to cut back on it.
Nice. Do you have all the tools that I love so much? The Instant Pot, the air fryer?
I don't have the air fryer yet, but I definitely want to invest in one.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I use that often, believe me.
Let me tell you, like, my favorite thing, because since you already said you like Japanese sweet potatoes, roast them however you do, or bake them, chill them, because something happens when you chill them. I don't know what. And then you cut them in half and you kind of smash them and then air fry them. It's like you have marshmallow toast. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that.
Really, seriously, try it.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Tish says, what brand of walnut butter do you use? And Dina says, how much do you allow yourself? A tablespoon, 2 tablespoons?
I wish I knew the name of it offhand. Maybe I'll put it in the comments later. But yeah, I allow myself a tablespoon, so not too much. I mean, I just go by if I'm hungry. Sometimes I'll allow myself a little more. But
if you get the Nutri-Milk machine, you can make your own walnut butter.
That's a good point. Yep.
And I have a contest right now for the next 10 days where you can win a free one.
Oh, I'll definitely enter that. Definitely.
You really can. I mean, anybody can enter. It's really just you answer a few questions, send a 3-minute video, and we're going to have Nutri-Milk decide who gets it. Somebody's going to.
I love that. Oh, thank you for telling me. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we're not going to pick it based on who I know. I'm not. Believe me, when I do these contests, I stay as far away from it as possible. I don't want ever anybody to say, you pick this person because you liked him. No, Nutri-Milk's going to decide.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. I'll
Great.
definitely check that.
Leaves me off the hook. Well, Richard, you are an inspiration, and I wish you every success in your new coaching career.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. Thank you. I'm looking
absolutely.
forward to it as well.
And I really did read your book. I actually endorsed it. So I'm recommending it to people because I can honestly recommend it, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate the endorsement too. And Dr. Furman did as well. All these people I look up to, I really appreciate it.
Well, at 6'3", I don't think you look up to a lot of people.
Good point.
That's so funny. I remember when I met Anthony in person, it was at that event, the Dr.
Yeah, he's
Furman
like
and
an
I.
inch taller than I am. He's
Yeah, but
6'4".
I mean, I don't wear glasses. I probably should. I thought he was Dr. Gregor.
Oh yeah, somebody else told him that as well. I think he's heard that a couple times.
Yep.
It's funny. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, Richard. And please come back again soon.
Well, thank you. I really had fun.
Great. Me too. Thank you. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time, when we will be talking about the power of food with Henry and Henry. They are a husband and wife team, Graham and Annette, and they're going to be broadcasting from Berlin, Germany. So that'll be really interesting. They resolve, just like Richard, their health challenges. Have you ever seen it not work, Richard?
No, actually, once people do it and they do it long enough, they fall in love with it.
Absolutely. Well, people have fallen in love with you, and please get